Tuesday. And welcome into the PHNX Sun Devils show. I'm Anthony Totri, joined as always, or as of recently, Shane Dieffenbach.
As always now.
As always now, Big Pokey himself. We've got DJ Jacob Franklin behind the Mac, making all
DJ Jacob Franklin
magic happening, guys.
He's got a kid.
Do us a solid. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and if you're listening on audio, please leave a 5-star review. Let us know what you like about this podcast. Shane, we got a lot to get into today. We're talking class of 2025 for Kenny Dillingham and the Arizona State Sun Devils. Kenny and company already hard at work trying to lock in some of these guys on official visits and really making some noise in the class of 2025 recruiting ranks. I think it was just a couple weeks ago, 24/7 had tweeted out their top 25 of the class of 2025 recruiting rankings. As it stands right now, Arizona State is number 25 on that list. So we've got a number next to our name, and would you look at that, Zona Tucson 93. Welcome back, Shane.
Thanks, Zona Tucson 93.
Things you love to see.
Been thinking about you a lot lately.
Butter and Mustachio. Wow, is that... Did you just call me Butter?
Yeah, it's a scat band.
A scat band?
Yep.
I don't know what that means.
It's like... Okay,
sure. Why not?
But you're playing like the drums offbeat. And you're going scat. And I'm going, and I'm playing like a bass, but it's just drum. It's a totally different meaning to drum and bass. It's just I'm playing the bass and you're playing the drums. They don't really work together. It's kind of like jazz, but bad.
I would love to just pitch a tent in your head and just be there for about 12 hours.
Holy.
Just to see what's going on.
Relax there. Relax there,
what,
Anthony.
Dude? Come on. Okay? It's butter. It's butter to you.
That is insane.
That's not that crazy.
That is one of the craziest things that you've ever said.
Oh, shot. Jacob, is that crazy?
That was pretty crazy.
It's nothing. I'm joking.
I'm joking. Give me that.
Look, let's go ahead. Let's get into some of the recruits that have announced some official visits headed to Arizona State here over the next couple of months. We've got some all-time names on this list.
Brad Fitzgibbon.
Brad Fitzgibbon.
That's a guy you can buy like crystals from.
Really? He's
in
a crystal
video
guy?
game. You're giving him like 6 schmeckles and he gives you a crystal. Come back to Fitzgibbons.
Okay. Fitzgibbon, defensive lineman ranked among the top 30 recruits in Illinois in 2025, set to officially visit Arizona State April 26th through the 28th.
280?
6'4", 280.
Going into his senior year?
An absolute unit.
That's dumb.
An absolute unit. Looks like Arizona State, the only other school significantly in play.
That's T-Pain's favorite.
Wisconsin.
Look,
we're going to get into a little bit later how some of these prospects could fit into Arizona State's roster, because you talk about some of the guys that you're really going to be without after the season, something that you had kind of touched on just a little bit. Elijah Badger obviously being one on the offensive side of the ball. But in reality, there is a hefty list of guys that are contributors for Arizona State as it stands right now that are no longer likely going to be on the team. And that's without the discussion of the transfer portal. This is just simply eligibility and potentially declaring for the NFL draft in 2025. I know I said I'll do it later, but I might as well do it now. Anthony Cooper on the defensive side of the ball, Emmett Bowl, Ben Coleman, Lee Fautanu, obviously 3 offensive linemen for Arizona State, Elijah Badger, Melquan Stovall, Bryce Pierre, Shamari Simmons, Prince Dorba, DeCarlos Brooks, Cam Scadaboo, Troy O'Meara, Mason Williams, Xavier Guillory. Like, there are so many players that are immediate contributors to Arizona State in 2024 that are no longer going to be on the team after this season. So these recruits, this recruiting class in general, I feel like before we get too deep into the weeds.
Gone after this year?
Yeah.
I thought he had another year.
I believe he's a redshirt senior this season.
Huh.
So
he doesn't have a COVID year?
He might. Again, there are obviously some
I thought half
guys.
These players were going to be gone this year anyway. Like Is it just me, chat, or are you just so confused by who's allowed to play?
Yeah, COVID years are still such a weird thing.
Like, I remember at senior night last year for basketball, I was like, what? Why is he? Huh?
Yeah.
Like, Gaffney had his, and then he was like, I'm back. I'm joking. And then he's here again.
See how many times we could throw that into the show?
And then DJ Horn was like, I'm walking. I'm like, dude, you're literally a junior.
Yeah.
And then he was doing it because he was leaving, obviously. But I was so confused.
Yeah, it is a weird thing for sure. But look, like a lot of those guys not going to be here. So there are some immediate needs for Arizona State. Obviously, there are guys that are already on Arizona State's roster, are part of the class of 2024, the transfer portal that you imagine can like have an immediate impact in terms of development and trying to get to that spot. But again, a guy like Brad Fitzgibbon, who, again, all class.
That is awesome.
All class name. 6'4", 280. We know the defensive line for Arizona State is already an issue for the Sun Devils. I would say it's probably the biggest question mark for Arizona State's defense this season. But that's just me. Getting a guy that, again, is in play, interior defensive lineman, would be huge. And I think something you could see for some of these recruits in general is just the importance of versatility. Like, it's a must in both Kenny's offense and Brian Ward's defense.
Who is starting?
Who is starting where?
On the interior defensive line this year?
I believe it's going to be CJ Fight.
Yep.
You're going to probably have Anthony Cooper.
Okay.
And
those are your two.
Those are your two. Your edge guys, you'll have Prince and Clayton as your edge.
Like Clayton.
Yeah, Clayton Smith returning.
I thought he was gone too. I thought we were only getting 1 year of the big lizard man.
The big lizard man.
For those of you guys who don't know, he has a monitor lizard,
which is
as a pet,
borderline insane.
Which is awesome.
It's crazy. It's crazy to have. I'm just not a big lizard I'm not a big
reptile. You're not cold-blooded.
I'm not big animal. Dog or cat. That's it. Or fish.
You're not a big animal guy. What are some good animals that aren't dog, cat, fish?
In general or as pets?
Bearded dragons are cool.
I was going to say iguanas.
No, I'm just not a lizard. No, I can't do it, man.
Yeah, I mean, I understand it.
Turtles smell.
I had 2 turtles, Trident and Abby.
They do smell.
Clint, asking the real question here. Is Shane 6'2"?
No, I'm not.
You're 6'1"?
Are you serious?
6'4".
I'm 6'4", dog.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm all of 6'4".
Okay.
I'm 6'7", bro.
Calm down, guys. Calm down. You guys are slightly smaller than I am. Glenn in the chat, Fight might have a big jump, already experiencing some playing time. Yeah. And Jacob Kongaika, the transfer from the University of Arizona, who was squatting a ridiculous
that was crazy
amount the other day.
Whenever you see the barbell bend like that, you're like, oh.
What was that? I mean, that was in the 500s when he was squatting.
Yeah, it was like 900 plates.
Which is ridiculous.
But Fight was like last year, you were like, he's going to make an impact immediately. And he did for a freshman, like as much as he could. But dude, I mean, this is a guy who, I mean, screw 6'4", 280 coming into college. That man was
a unit.
9 foot 370.
Yeah, and that's something again that I think you're going to see with some of these recruits is like Arizona State was never previously in the running for a guy like a CJ Fight, right? To get a big interior defensive lineman, and whether that be the coaching staff or just the era of college sports as it stands right now with NIL, transfer portal, immediate playing time, like I think you're going to start to see Kenny Dillingham and company maybe start to get some of those guys. I am interested to see what they do in terms of some of the offensive players that they are in play for. I do want to get to Khalil Sterling, 5'9", $165, a little bit smaller, but a versatile wide receiver.
He's a scooter.
He is a scooter, absolutely. And he does have some other schools on his list out of Miami Central High School, including Pitt and West Virginia. It seems to be down to those two.
Here's a fun
and
nugget.
Then Arizona State.
Here's a fun nugget. He went into Bishop Gorman. Actually, I don't know if this was home all right, but he played Bishop Gorman. It'd be cool if he went into Bishop Gorman because that stadium is insane.
It is insane.
And had 161 and a touchdown on 7 catches.
Wow. Again, Bishop
school.
Gorman's one of the best, if not the best,
good school.
high school football school.
Clint, that's one of the nicest things anybody's
nation.
ever said to me. Clint says, I can hear the 6'4" in Shane's voice. I appreciate that. That's huge.
I just don't even know what that means.
I mean, that's huge. I'm just
there's like a vote of confidence.
Yeah, I'm just exuding confidence. I'm oozing.
Because you're tall?
I'm just oozing height.
So because you're tall, you are confident?
No.
It
has nothing to do with it.
Okay. Maybe I misread this.
You think a shorter wide receiver could help?
I mean, I think in Kenny's offense, the more versatile you are, the better.
I think we're going to see a lot from what a guy like Raleek Brown.
Exactly. Him and Melquan Stovall. Just in terms of being able to line up in the slot, move all over the field. Raleek obviously playing a little bit more in the backfield this season. It certainly is going to be interesting, and I think being able to truly evaluate Arizona State's offense this season, and I guess defensively, but now you've obviously got a new OC. It's year 2 of guys like Jaden Rashada. You're bringing in Sam Leavitt. Like, I think this is the year that you're fully going to be able to understand what the Kenny offense is going to look like.
Yeah, Raleek's going to be totally positionless. Dude,
I think Jordan Tyson will be too. I think that would be fun.
Forgot about that guy.
I think that would be fun.
Raleek and scat formation is going to be nuts out.
It's going to be fun.
They're going to like motion at the same time, and then one of them's going to stop under center, and the other's going to keep running.
Yeah.
That's going to be crazy.
Well, I mean, again, you before we get into some of these recruits, like, again, the positions that Arizona State is going to have to replace moving forward is going to be significant, because you are losing Elijah Badger, Xavier Guillory, Troy O'Meara. Like, you're losing 4 wide receivers after the season. And realistically, outside of a guy like Jordan Tyson, there isn't necessarily another guy on the roster immediately that you can point to and be like, this guy is going to fill the void left by some of the other wide receivers.
Yeah,
like,
who's going to be the Badger this year? Because who showed flat?
Oh,
they didn't really have a young...
I've got a name, but it's escaping me.
Okay.
A dude that was just an absolute beast.
For those of you guys that remembered, I used to talk about this a lot, but Elijah Badger's freshman year, his true freshman year, he was like the most efficient player I've ever seen. He had like 7 touches, and 2 or 3 went for touchdowns. One was an end around, and one was a slant. But then he wasn't really used that much. And I remember saying on the show going into the next season that he's going to be wide receiver 1, and it's not going to be close. And he did. And that was, again, off of a year where I don't even know if he had 100 yards in that freshman year. The sophomore year was
I think he had like 5 catches for 70 yards or something.
I think it was 7 for something.
Caleb Black. Caleb Black's the name. Saw a lot of him toward the end of the season, even playing in games. But he's redshirt freshman last season, 5'9", $170, so he fits the exact same build as a Khalil Sterling. Dude is fast as hell, got a great release, great route runner.
Short bus.
Yeah, if he can kind of put together the hands, I think absolutely then he will certainly be a what?
Short bus has to change his name, because for the audio listeners, like, they just randomly think I'm saying short bus. Like, that's SB.
He does want to know who runs a faster 40. You were kind of.
Oh, it's not close.
You think you run a faster 40?
I'm smoking you.
You think you run a faster 40?
I'm deceptively not.
Nobody in this office could get below probably a 5'2".
No.
Oh, I could. Absolutely.
Totri.
Absolutely.
Totri.
Absolutely.
Totri.
Absolutely.
Totri.
Absolutely.
Start a poll.
Hey, I was sub 5 in high school, baby. Sub 5 in high school.
Start a poll, Jacob.
I'm just saying.
So why weren't you?
What's
on
the poll?
D1
What's
roster?
the poll? So, because I'm fucking 5'8", Jacob. I'm 5'8", $150. Like, that's why I was on a D1 roster. Are you kidding me? What's the poll?
If the chat thinks you can run a sub 5'2".
Okay, that's absolutely fine by me. Let's see. So moving on from Khalil Sterling and some of the other guys, I do want to focus on the interior of the offensive linemen, or I guess just the offensive line in general. Maki Stewart, another just absolute behemoth of a class of 2025 player. So he's one of California's top 2025 offensive linemen, set to officially visit ASU the final weekend of April. He is a whopping 6'6", 290, and he has kind of like a final 5 that he's already kind of sent out between Arizona State, UCF, Texas A&M, Utah, and Florida State. For Arizona State, the offensive line was an issue we saw last season. It's really something that we've seen kind of impact ASU in a negative way for how many years? Like, to be able to go into California and I think pull out one of the best tackles in the state that stands at 6'6", 290 would be absolutely massive for Kenny going into the Big 12.
Yeah, I mean, the offensive line position is such a position where you need to have longevity and consistency, and they've just been so far from that. Like, especially in the year of the transfer portal and like NIL and roster turnover, and ASU's been literally at the forefront of it. Like, no team has had more turnover in the past 2 years than Arizona State.
Yeah.
You need to keep the beef. Like, you have to keep the beef consistent up front, or it just is like, you're not. Like, I don't care how good certain players are, what star this guy is from the portal. Like if you don't have a consistent starting 5, 6, 7, even like that, is going to be there, because injuries happen in football, yes. But it can't be this guy slides in and then, the left tackle now moves to right tackle. Yeah. The guard shifts to center, and then everybody's playing a new position. Like that doesn't work, because not only is one of the guards going to be like, my right tackle had this tendency, the center had this tendency, and now it's swapped. A guy like Rashada needs to know that like what tendencies, who's going to protect him at what play. That you need reps consistently with these offensive linemen, and that's not going to happen unless you can make sure you have a starting 5 before we get to week 1. And it's not like, okay, week 1 was a shit show because they the right guard allowed 3 QB hits. Now we have to switch the whole thing. No, it needs to be solidified after spring ball.
Yeah. No, I absolutely agree. And especially, again, you look past this season, this season alone is going to be interesting because of all the interior offensive line transfers that Kenny was able to snag. But after this season, losing guys like Emmett Bull started last season. Ben Coleman, if he wasn't hurt, would have started last season. And then obviously your starting center in Leaf. That's 3 right there that could realistically be starting caliber offensive linemen this season that are gone after this year.
Leaf with another guy. I'm like, he's back?
Yeah.
I did not expect him to be back.
Yeah, your starting center is huge.
Especially him. He's not just a starting D1 center. He's a good starting D1 center.
He absolutely
is. And he's hilarious.
And the fact that you bring back a guy like Sean Na, who was a true freshman last season, who played some significant minutes for Arizona State. Yeah. He projects to be your starting left tackle this season. So being able to keep him, another big thing, being able to keep him year over year, not losing him to the portal, not losing him to NIL from other schools, is going to be super, super impactful to have that stability along the offensive line. Yeah. But not only that, to help develop some of these younger kids that will be coming in as class of 2024, class of 2025 offensive linemen. That would be huge to pair Sean Na with a guy like Maki Stewart moving forward.
Oh, and it goes the other way too. To give them to give a young guy, it's like a guy like Leaf who's been in college for 900 years, just to have that experience next to you. It goes both ways. You just got to have consistency.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you look at what Arizona State, or I guess not even Arizona State, you look at what Kenny Dillingham has done so well in his offenses over the years. They've been able to keep their quarterbacks upright. And they've been able to run the football well.
And a lot of that is because they get the ball out so fast.
Yeah.
And hopefully
part of it is design, and I feel like another part of it is just you have such high class offensive linemen that year over year, your quarterback is able to spend some time in the pocket or just make things work. Obviously, the ground game is significantly important. It's again, the offensive line in college football is still as important as ever. I feel like that's something that people maybe get away from because of the talent at the quarterback position or the edge position or even some of the talented skill guys.
Yeah. You think that they had an emphasis at going at the interior offensive line this last summer? They have 3 guards coming in as true freshmen in fall camp. So, and I think 2 of them are from the Poly pipeline.
They were big on Polys.
One's
this
from
summer.
Hawaii. Then we get Champ Westbrook, the other guy from California, and then the third.
I'm excited to see Champ.
Is from West High School in Utah.
Tonga.
Yeah, but that sounds Poly. So.
Yeah, I mean, again, having some of these younger offensive linemen is going to be huge, and I think it's going to be a little bit of a growing. There will be growing pains with some of these offensive linemen, especially in your first year in the Big 12. But again, if you can just try and set some stability, some culture, there isn't just culture within the team in the locker room. I feel like that's something that also escapes people, is the idea that there is culture within each position room, right? The offensive line wants to set a standard for themselves. The quarterbacks, the wide receivers, there is a standard in all of these rooms. And while the team itself has a different level of culture that they're trying to establish, it goes hand in hand with all of these other position rooms. And I think the offensive line is probably a unit that at Arizona State for such a long period of time has been super mid. So this is the guy, Beats by Bandes. This is the guy that wanted to bet me $1,000 on Colorado's win total.
He's not trolling right now because he said no troll twice. You talking about 2024? 2024 is Jason Brown, running back from Seattle, who's a dog.
Jason Brown Jr., is a dog. Brown. Are you class 2025? Probably Butter, right?
Let's see what the ranking is.
It's got to be Tollefson.
Joseph Smith. It's currently higher than Tollefson on ESPN.
It will be Cooper Perry.
You're buying into it. You're believing it. Cooper Perry to Arizona State would be so damn fun.
Notre Dame's got a really nice field too.
They do have a really nice. Are we talking the Irish or Notre Dame Prep?
Notre Dame Prep. Notre Dame Irish. Kind of mid.
Wow.
Kind of midfield. No, I'm kidding. It's a great field.
Okay.
Really,
Well, let's
really cool campus.
let's talk about another
the area
recruit.
surrounding it.
What?
The area surrounding.
Yeah, South Bend, Indiana, not ideal. Not ideal by any means.
That's
Yeah, and you got Jayden Fortier as well. Jaden
Yeah.
Fortier, absolutely incredible. It will be interesting to see what his playing time looks like recovering from the ACL surgery. So should be interesting from conversations I've had with him, and we've shared that he is slated to be good to go by the start of fall camp. But again, I can imagine Kenny Dillingham and Arizona State taking his recovery probably pretty slow heading into the fall.
This is what I love about college like football. When you get a flash in the pan freshman, or even if they're just good the whole year, because I remember that feeling. You're like, okay, we know what we have in spring ball, and then you get to fall camp. You're like, oh yeah, him, and there's that guy, and there's that tight end, and there's the guard that's coming in. It's very exciting. But also now we get this year, you go to spring ball, and you're like, all right, Keith Abney, all right, like all these younger guys. Sad that
Montana Warren,
JoJo's not back because JoJo was gonna be big. I can't believe he transferred. I'm so upset at him.
Yeah, you're so upset at him.
I'm very upset at him.
Well, I mean, I think
Josiah
that's
Cox, I'm mad at you.
That's some I feel like a really important thing to acknowledge is you look across the nation and how many players after one season opt to enter the portal because it wasn't what was sold to them, it wasn't whatever, and the wide majority of Kenny's first class stayed put and didn't enter the portal.
Yes, 100%.
And that's absolutely
this man
huge.
doesn't BS you.
No, he didn't. And I think that's, again, we've talked to recruits, we've talked to players, coaches, whatever, that Kenny keeps it 100 with everybody. And I think that's super, super important. But getting back on track, talking about some of these class of 2025 recruits, Desmond Straughton, another phenomenal name, the number 5 recruit in Michigan's 2025 class. He's set in an official visit to Arizona State for May 31st, 5'11", $175, listed as an athlete. Athlete. Michigan State seems to be the betting favorite for Desmond, which, I mean, he's from Michigan, so that makes a lot of sense. But it would be huge to go into Michigan and snag a kid that is top 5 in that class, that is versatile, that can really do it all on both sides of the ball. I believe he's more of a safety than he is anything else. So that would be huge. Again, you look at that position at Arizona State, what it projects to be years to come. I know they were really heavy in the transfer portal in terms of getting guys in the back end, like a Miles Rouser, like a Kamari. Like there are a bunch of other guys. You are going to lose guys like Shamari after this season, but that position specifically, I think, is going to be one of the more unique position groups to watch moving forward. Well, the chat is just going crazy with just doing random
LTC. Bonk. LTC. Bonk.
LTC. What are we doing, man?
Gonzaga bound that one.
Huh?
There was a Gonzaga player that hit on her.
Oh, really?
Like fully. Yeah.
Like shot a shot?
She went on, I think it was on, she went on Kimmel or Fallon, one of those two, and she was like,
she didn't say.
because she's from that area.
She didn't say, though.
Yeah, she said there was, it had to be Drew Timme.
No. Well, what was it? Was it last year?
It was like a year ago.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that.
Drew Timme and Sydney Sweeney. A couple American needs. No, it's nothing.
Yes.
It's great for mustache men.
Yeah.
It's great for mustache men like yourself, but that's neither here nor there. Something that's great for everybody, not just mustache men,
but
guys.
Really good for mustache men too.
Phoenix Raceway.
Yeah.
Absolutely. This weekend, the Valley of the Sun is going to roar to life. This spring, when NASCAR returns to Phoenix Raceway, the best-in-class fan experience meets racing's toughest drivers for 3 days of action, all surrounded by the beautiful Estrella Mountains. I know a bunch of folks from PHNX. They're going to be out there. It's going to be an absolute blast. Spring break at Phoenix Raceway is the perfect introduction to NASCAR with affordable ticket pricing for families. Whether you're a diehard racing fan or simply looking for a fantastic day out, this event promises fun for everyone, from live entertainment, fan hospitality areas, and an immersive in-field experience. Shane, you're going to be there.
Yeah, I am. The Seahawks just released their starting safeties. I have no idea why. That's awesome. That's cool. Yeah, Yeah, I'm gonna be there. It's gonna be really fun. Robin's racing, brother.
There you go. If you ain't first, you're last, baby.
Yeah.
If you ain't first,
So
you're
come
last.
out. Those things are always fun. But
Get your tickets to the Shriners Children's 500 at Phoenix Raceway, March 8th through the 10th. This weekend promises a weekend full of good vibes for the whole family. Get your reserved grandstand tickets now at phoenixraceway.com.
you know what I love?
Winning?
Scratchers.
Oof.
Big scratcher guy. Huge. Probably the biggest in this room.
You're the biggest scratcher?
In this room.
Ah.
Biggest scratcher guy in this room. And the Arizona Lottery's got you for all your scratcher needs. Plus, they got a fun new ticket and promotion called the Arizona Adventure. There are 3 ways to play and win big. Play Arizona Adventure Lottery tickets featuring 3 iconic landscape, Picacho Peak, Monument Valley, and Camelback Mountain. These tickets have prizes up to $50K. That is some cash. So make sure to go ahead and grab you some of those. The Arizona Lottery is not just about playing games and winning prizes. It's also about giving back to the state and its communities. Visit azadventure.com for more information on how you can take an adventure for a chance to win $1 million in cash and Arizona travel prizes. If there's any state to travel, Arizona's a great one.
What would you do? What was the first thing you do if you won $1 million?
I would buy a facility to watch Totri run a 40.
Probably hit one of these.
You'd buy a facility?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'd probably hit one of those first.
You'd hit one of those? What was the final on the poll?
11 votes. 55% said no. Totri could not run under
Only
5'2".
55?
Yeah.
Wow.
There's a lot of people that had some faith in him in there.
It's okay. The doubters always... We'll put them on notice.
I mean, we'll do it. We'll do it
at some point. Yeah, at some point. I hit leg day for the first time like a couple days ago. So
see, the excuses already start rolling, soon. Shane.
Yeah.
Look, man, I'm sore.
Oh.
Okay, you gotta let me. You gotta let me get ready. You gotta let me ready. When they run the combine, when they goes to these things, they understand. Okay, they get time to prep. They get time to do all these things. You can't just sit here and command me. A month? Okay, a month to run sub 5.2. Yeah,
fair, Shane.
I'm sorry. Who cares about cap space, Clint?
It clears 34 mil in cap. There's no way. There's no way your safety has that cap hit.
I mean, Jamal Adams is 17 mil.
Wow, that's crazy. LTC, I ride with Totri. Appreciate
Quandre was pretty lofty too. Quandre is the one I'm upset about because you Julian Love that's fine, but what the fuck?
Shane's out here talking Seattle Seahawks. Let's go ahead and get back to Arizona State. Another all-time name for Arizona State in terms of class of 2025 recruiting. It's okay. Can I interest you in 4-star SoCal tight end Vander Plug?
What?
Yes. Vander Plug sets his ASU official visit for the end of May.
That's
6'6", 210 pounds. He goes to Troy High School.
That's Sweden's version of Darth Vader.
Vander Plug?
Yeah.
He's got a couple notable schools also interested. Utah, Cal, Michigan State, Oregon State, San Diego State, Washington State, UCLA, Washington, UNLV, San Jose State, a bunch of schools looking for the services of Mr. Plug in the class of 2025. But for Arizona State, the tight end position is a unique like room. It's something that I think Jacob and I have talked about. Like, because you've lost to Jalen Conyers, because you've lost to Messiah Swinson, now it is up to guys like a Bryce Pierre, a Marcuston Douglas, a Cam Harpool. Obviously, you've got Jaden Fortier, who is, for the future of Arizona State.
Yeah.
But realistically, BP's gone after this year. You don't necessarily know the level of production that you're going to get from Douglas immediately just because he hasn't been thrust into that role yet. Like, again, being able to add a young tight end in Plug to pair him alongside a Jaden Fortier for years to come, I think would be huge. But he's not the only tight end that Arizona State's interested in.
No, another name that...
AJ La.
I thought that's an I, because it's capital I. Why would they have a lowercase L?
Good luck.
No, it is a lowercase L. What the?
Yeah.
Why is it lowercase? No, it's an I. It's an I.
Oh, yeah.
Aya?
AJ Aya.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
That is
Four
awesome.
letters. 4 letters in your whole first and last name.
Awesome.
AJ Aya. Yeah, he's 6'5", 240 pounds. Another tight end from California that, again, would just be huge for that room specifically for Arizona State to go out and get. Also, schools that are interested: Colorado, Florida, Arizona, Auburn, BYU, Oregon State, Penn State, San Diego State, Stanford, Texas. Like there are a bunch of high-level schools after some of these California tight ends. Now, if you're a tight end,
I'm not.
But if you are, you're
Okay.
6'4", what, 215?
Relax.
215?
Relax.
210? 205?
Relax.
Let's relax.
It's generous. It's on a good day.
What would why Arizona State? Why would you entertain Arizona State and Jason Mons, specifically the tight end coach at Arizona State?
I mean, historically, Arizona State's had some good tight ends. I ran into Zach Miller in Indy, actually.
Oh wow.
Historically, they've had some great tight ends. Todd Heap, Zach Miller, like they have a great list of tight ends. Recently, their tight ends rooms have been awesome. You share the sugar, that's for damn sure.
Yeah.
Like almost every tight end played snaps last year that was on the roster. So and also it's such a great position to play in a Kenny Dillingham offense because I don't know, do you want to run the tush push as a tight end? Well, you got it here. Do you want to throw the ball as a tight end? You got it here. Do you want to come out as the starting quarterback in a Division I football game as a tight end? You got it here. Like there's so many fun things you can do as a tight end at ASU, and it definitely starts with blocking. Kenny loves his blocking tight ends, which might not be as sexy as the other things you can do as a tight end, but you get a unique opportunity to do a lot of things.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Look, we've got an interesting Jayden Daniels tweet that just popped up. We'll get to that at the tail end of the show, but just something for everybody at the tail end that they can get into.
Look forward to.
Yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, to your point, like for Arizona State and for some of these recruits that are class of 2025 tight ends specifically, like there is so much to like about what Kenny Dillingham does in this offense. And again, you look at what some of these tight ends that are such versatile players can do at Arizona State. I think it's going to be something to continue to watch in 2024. I think more so than even last season. Last season, I think some of the guys were pushed into roles simply because of injuries, right? Like guys having to play quarterback, guys having to get out and play outside the numbers. Like there is certainly going to be, again, this season, knock on wood, of course, you don't want injuries. Like you're gonna learn more about what this offense actually is. So it certainly is going to be interesting. But I do want to get to another athlete with a phenomenal name, Naeem Parrish, listed as an athlete, 5'11", $165, kind of mirrors what we saw with some of the other guys that we're talking about in terms of versatility, athlete, what they can do. Naeem Parrish is an athlete, a top 15 recruit in New Jersey's 2025 class. He's got an official visit for Arizona State in June.
For those of you who don't know what that means when Totri says athlete, by the way, it means he has multiple positions. He's not just like, obviously all these guys are athletes.
Yeah.
Just for
this guy specifically,
just for the non like
an athlete,
just for the non like football crowd that doesn't know. Yeah, I always used to love recruiting athletes in NCAA football 2005.
Yeah,
because I could just put them wherever I wanted to.
Yeah, that's fair.
Fun. And that's kind of what you get out of these guys. Yeah,
I feel like that's exactly what Kenny and company are trying to do. Like you want to be able to have guys that could do a bunch of different things because you look last year again in year one, like the most successful players for Arizona State last season were dudes that could kind of do it all.
Yeah,
offensively and defensively. Like to be able to have the ability to, if you're defensively, like if you are a linebacker and you can line up and run with a tight end or a slot guy, or if you are an edge rusher who can also take a few steps back and play in coverage, or if you're a safety and you can move up, like same thing with the running backs and wide receivers, that's where you're going to thrive at Arizona State. And realistically, that's where you see the pro game headed. That's where it's been headed for a while now, right? Like the more versatile you are, usually, I don't want to say the better you are, but the more likely you're going to find your way onto a roster.
The more valuable you are usually.
Yeah. So for Naeem, there are other schools interested, obviously. Boston College, Duke, Michigan State, Minnesota, Penn State, Syracuse, Tennessee, Virginia Tech, Wisconsin. It will be interesting. Arizona State to go into New Jersey and try and get a player.
Boston College has 8 athletes on their roster. What are we doing?
Boston College isn't very good.
Yeah, I know. What are we doing?
Yeah, well, because I can't recruit like specific positions. I feel like Boston College is just not very good. But yeah, it will be interesting to see. What?
You.
Which guy?
You.
Which beats?
Yeah, you.
Oh.
I'm talking to you. Like the video.
There you go.
Guys, We only have 6 likes. What are we doing? Like the video.
And
you listening right now. Leave us a 5-star review.
There you go. And anything else you want to say?
That is the craziest lower third you've ever made. What is that picture even from?
I think Leah sent that. I don't know what that's from though.
Thanks.
What does that shirt say?
I absolutely remember taking that photo.
Oh, really?
I'm pretty sure it was me.
Okay.
Because you asked me to take the photo.
What does it say?
The shirt it has a picture of a seal on it. It says, "I've disappointed those in my life I love most."
Oh, that's that shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Have you? Do you feel like you have?
No.
You've made them proud, or
very? Some say that I've made my loved ones the most proud of anybody.
You've made me very proud.
Yeah. Well, Jacob's a loved one.
Wow. Am I?
Wow. You're a liked one.
Wow. That's crazy.
Notice conveniently there's no leave a like Totris.
Yeah, because when it was requested, I'm the one that made the request.
Yeah, that would be pretty
Doesn't
selfish.
mean we can't have you.
That would be pretty selfish, though.
Okay. Whatever. It is what it is, guys. Look, let's continue talking recruits. We got, the names here. The names here are just phenomenal. 4-star Los Angeles era edge. Chinendu Oniagoro. He's got an official visit in April. 6'2", 220. He's a 4-star.
He's got offers from Georgia, so
he looks like a grown-ass man.
Yeah.
He looks like a grown-ass man.
Yeah. No, he legitimately looks like he's just like he works at a bank. And you're like, how'd you get a job here? Why are you working at a bank? You were massive.
Georgia, Kentucky, Arizona, Cal, Arizona State. Who else we got here? Colorado State, Duke, Mississippi State, Northwestern, Oregon State, UCLA,
offers.
Notre Dame, USC, Utah. Like a bunch of schools interested. Would you get it together?
Hand up.
Get it together. Okay. A bunch of schools interested. And look, this is a position of need for Arizona State moving forward because you talk about some of the players, again, that Arizona State is likely going to lose down the road. Prince Dorba is a big one. Obviously led the team in sacks last year till he got hurt later in the year for Arizona State. We know about BJ Green no longer being on the team. So there are certainly several big-time edge rushers that won't be at Arizona State. I'm interested to see what Clayton Smith does after this season. I do believe he still has some eligibility.
What?
Yeah. It will be interesting though to see that position.
Did his lizard give
at
him
Arizona
eligibility?
State.
Was he gifted?
Was he gifted years of eligibility
By the lizard?
He wasn't. Like, he was young when he transferred. He was super young when he transferred.
I thought he was this redshirt junior.
No, I'm pretty sure he'd only spent 1 year at Oklahoma before he transferred. So he still has quite a bit of time.
That's awesome.
But again, you lose guys in
player
Prince,
right there.
And we know
Got
the
a good
importance
bend.
of the edge position. Again, I think in this level of defense that Brian Ward tries to run, we know the importance of pressure.
It sounded belittling.
What?
In this level of defense that Brian Ward tries to run.
In the defense that Brian Ward calls and runs. He doesn't really run that. He just calls it.
No, he runs the defense.
Calls it.
He runs it.
What's the difference?
I mean, there isn't, but you're specifically saying he doesn't run it.
He calls it.
We're so annoying.
Yeah,
right,
I know we are annoying. But again, those are just some of the players that Arizona State is targeting here in the class of 2025. Shane, give me one that if you could nail it down right now, March 5th, you guarantee
out of any of
the ones we talked to, you can guarantee one coming to Arizona State. Which one are you taking?
That's
on
really tough.
3, we'll say it. On 3, we'll go together. Okay?
Hold on. Give me a second.
Okay.
I gotta think about this.
He has to think about it. For me, it's easy. We've already made a decision in my mind. Come on now, guys.
All right.
You ready?
Sure.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Oniagoro.
Maki Stewart. Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me why.
Because he's massive and he is almost a 5-star.
That's valid.
And he's got the most robust offer list.
He does.
Which means the people that are better than me at evaluating talent.
Wait, you mean you're not the best?
No. Prioritize him higher. And he's got an awesome name. Not the best name. Vanderplug. That's amazing.
Is Vanderplug the best name we talked about today?
Yeah.
AJ Ia is pretty good.
Are there any basketball sickos in the chat? Shout out Vander Blue from Marquette. Wow, he was a bucket. If you remember Vander Blue, I remember Vander Blue in the chat. Couldn't think of anything creative there.
Yeah, I'm going to go Maki Stewart. The offensive line is something for Arizona State that I think needs to continue to improve. And it's something that if you are able to get, a staple right tackle moving forward for the next few years would be just absolutely huge
for sure.
The Sun Devils. Kenny Dillingham's offense, the improvement of the run game. being able to keep your quarterback upright, like all of it would just be so massive for Arizona State. Like you need something secure, right? Like you need a secure offensive line. You get a guy like a Maki Stewart, pair him with a Sean Na. It's probably the second most secure thing that you're going to have in Arizona next to Desert Financial Credit Union, guys. Desert Financial, the official retail banking partner of Arizona State University. They've been doing this thing for a minute. And when I say a minute, I mean more than 84 years. Desert Financial has been Arizona's largest, most trusted local credit union dedicated to creating exceptional experiences by giving back to the community and providing financial solutions that make lives better. Look to Desert Financial for checking and saving accounts, mortgages, loans, credit cards, investment options, and more. They have it all just for you. Again, safe, secure, and now is the time to show your ASU team spirit. Open a free checking account online and get $200 plus your choice of 3 Arizona State University Visa debit cards. Go to desertfinancial.com/ASU to get started. You know it's a great offer when they're going to give you something, and there's a plus right in there. $200 plus.
You know what I do when I'm stressed out? I like to eat.
Go fishing?
I like to eat.
Ooh, you like to
stressed
eat.
Out.
That's valid.
Right now I'm stressed out because it basically feels like a loved one is in surgery.
Oh, no.
So when I was at the combine, a little story time. When I was oh my God, Pooh Jeter was such a bucket.
That's not a real person.
Yeah, it is.
Pooh Jeter?
Pooh Jeter was so good.
Spelled like that? Like
yes.
Pooh,
yeah.
like the cartoon?
Yes.
That's elite.
Yeah.
Pooh Jeter?
He was such a bucket. Anyway, when I was in Indy, so I have this 2 terabyte SSD hard drive that from the last 6 months, like everywhere I went, I took video from every single state, and it was like the most organized thing ever.
Yeah.
And it was so beautiful. And when I was in Indy, it stopped reading and it got really hot and it corrupted. And so I had to drop it off at a data center, and they're basically doing surgery on my SSD right now, and I'm terrified. So I need to stress eat. And so I'm going to get some illegal Pete's.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I love illegal Pete's. So first of all, prayers up for my hard drive, everybody in the chat. Sudden good vibes. Second of all, get some illegal Pete's in you. Because if stress eating's not your thing, take a little edge off with the margarita. They have the best margaritas. They're strong too. And we only got a couple more weeks of patio season. So go ahead and get you some illegal Pete's. Get their margs, get their food, get their bowls, get whatever tickles your fancy. Their queso. It's amazing. And the college basketball season is the go-to time to get your crunch time on with Illegal Pete's. Win or lose, Illegal Pete's is here to bring you a win with their legendary sound check deal. Bring in your ticket stub from any ticketed event and get a draft beer or house marg on the house for a penny. Illegal Pete's wants you to celebrate with you, whether it's a pregame or postgame party with locations in Tucson and Tempe, Arizona. They got you covered on all your game day needs. Must purchase an adult entry to redeem Illegal Pete's sound check deal, though.
We got something. We got something that
Whoa!
I wasn't expecting. And I'm just curious as to why it's happening. But we got Sean DePaz out of nowhere. We have Sean DePaz. Almost. We almost have Sean DePaz.
He's still beaming in.
What's up, boys?
JB asked for him to be beamed in, so I figured it was worth a shot.
Hey, Sean.
What's poppin'?
How you doing?
Lovely. Repping the D-backs in Beantown, as you will.
What's going on, man?
Nothing. I talked to you yesterday, Totri.
Yeah.
So where are you? Are you in the studio right now?
Yeah. Currently I'm in the What Chaos studio.
Nice.
Going to a big Bruins-Oilers game tonight, as I'm sure all of you ASU fans are very intrigued by.
The oil men, we love that. Look, I'm wearing my shirt that Leah got me.
It's funny because DJ was wearing his Sherwood hoodie today.
Wow, that's huge.
And I almost wore my Violent Gentleman's hoodie, so we were almost really repping Toronto lids heavy. But
hey, Sean, what do you think about ASU's 2025 recruiting class?
I can't wait to play with them in NCAA.
That brings up. Do you have like 10 minutes or no?
Yeah.
Okay, so before we get to the Jayden Daniels thing, I would love to get Sean's like legit 2 cents on everything that's kind of going on with Arch Manning and his his whole
Texas
not going to be in the NCAA video game.
Texas is dead. Arch Manning is the softest athlete I've ever seen. I don't care if he's only 19 years old. I mean, I tweeted it yesterday. Like, I made up a fake quote where it's like, "Sorry, coach, I know my game hasn't been great, but I just can't get my mind off the fact that a virtual version of my name, image, and likeness is sitting on the sideline of a video game. Like, he's the backup quarterback. What are we talking about? And then this guy's supposed to win games in Tuscaloosa in November, but he can't focus on football because he's in a video game. The fuck does that even mean? Like,
it doesn't make any sense.
It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. But whatever, Arch, you're going to be a bust. Sadly, I'm afraid, but it is what it is.
Opting out of the NCAA video game because he wants to focus on football. Like,
who do you think is going to be on the cover of that game? Because I feel like there's only one answer.
I think it should be Nick Saban.
I think it should be Nick Saban. I think they'll probably put Deion on it.
I think it's going to be the Sanders. I think it's going to be Shedeur and Deion. They're going to end up. They're going to put Shedeur on it, and then they're going to do like a prime edition.
Prime edition.
It's going to be Deion. I mean, but like, let's be honest. He's the most marketable. Like, they're the most marketable faces.
Yeah. Is there any? I mean, yeah. There's nobody in college football right now bigger than Deion.
Right? Because obviously it would have been Caleb had the game come out this year.
Yeah.
Nick Saban would be cool if they just made it like Nick Saban's NCAA 2024 every year. If it's Debo, I'll never play the game again or ever. Period. I hate Debo.
Dude, he might be the worst coach person ever.
Hey, make sure make sure you're in the name, image, and likeness of God.
The best thing that he's ever done though is sprint as fast as he can, because that is the best thing ever.
And
that
also
rivals Isaiah Stewart.
I was reading that there are no coaches. The coaches won't be in the game this year, which is sad. So I guess it probably won't be Prime, but it's probably going to be.
They can still put it. Yeah, I mean, there's no coaches, but they could put him on the. He's not if he's not in the game.
I don't think they would then.
Is there a player marketable?
$600 and a free copy of the game.
I guess it would be Shedeur or Travis Hunter is probably the likely option.
Shedeur and Travis Hunter would make a sick cover too.
It would go hard. That'd be Troy Polamalu, Larry Fitzgerald.
Oh, okay. That was a great cover of Madden 25, right?
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was great.
All right, this is what I wanted to get to with Jayden Daniels. This popped up. So JPA Football tweeted this out, and JPA Football, zero credibility from my understanding. Like, I don't know.
These like ML, JPA, like they're so just mute them. It'll make your life better.
They give you tweets like this. So they tweeted rumors. There are people within Jayden Daniels' camp that don't want him to be drafted by the Patriots, per Phil A. Perry.
So here, I heard something and now I'm tweeting it.
And says, quote, there are questions among NFL coaches as to how Daniels, who is from California and played at Arizona State and LSU, would adapt to the playing conditions in New England. Jayden Daniels, quote, retweeted it with just the cap emoji.
Yeah.
That's all.
It's a non-story. It's so stupid.
So I thought you were going somewhere else. The video that I had tweeted about late last night where someone said that if you put JD5 in Michigan, if you would swap JJ and
I saw that,
Jayden, they would have had similar stats, which is just nonsense.
I don't know if Michigan wins the Natty with Jayden Daniels. Oh no, that's not because Jayden Daniels.
No, that's probably fair.
I just don't think it would fit. I don't think it would work.
No, I agree, but like they're so very different kinds of quarterbacks. Clearly,
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Jayden Daniels playing in the weather. Like, no one's saying that about Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams was supposed to go to Chicago, and he's played in Southern California and Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And
so where's Jayden Daniels end up, guys?
I think it's probably going to be a Patriots. I mean, he's going to be better than Drake May. I think. I don't think that any of the quarterbacks in this class are really going to end up doing much. Maybe
not
including
even
Caleb. Maybe, but I mean, we'll see.
I think that's crazy.
I think the Drake May disrespect is crazy. I think people looking at Drake May and saying that he's bad or just if you watch his film, he has ridiculous upside. The dude is a cannon.
That's fine. They're gonna go to if he goes to Washington.
No way they double down on UNC quarterbacks. No way.
Well, that's the other thing. I just don't trust UNC quarterbacks, but I might be a little biased there. But I don't trust the Bears to develop or put Caleb Williams in a position to succeed. I don't trust the Washington football team to do anything with a quarterback like Drake May, a UNC. Like, I don't. And I don't trust the Patriots.
The only thing about I love how this just turned into an NFL draft panel. The only thing about the Commanders or the football, we're gonna call them the football team still. Yeah. The only thing about the football team that I'm like hesitant about is they have $100 million or something in cap.
Yeah, they do have a lot of cap.
And their roster wasn't that terrible, like talent wise.
And I mean,
they just need to get a receiver. I think they could sign Calvin Ridley and then shore up their defense a little more. I don't think they're going to be as bad as people think. You're talking about a bad team. You look at the Carolina Panthers, and they're just in hell
awful
right now.
But hey, at least the only way to go is up, right?
Yeah, I think that the most talented quarterbacks in this draft are going to be put in very difficult positions to succeed, and obviously that makes everything. And then the other quarterbacks, I just don't think are going to be that good.
Jacob,
so
can you put Clint's comment up on the screen real fast?
Clint's?
Yeah.
Wow, you're sleeping on Sam Hartman?
Dude, I'm out. Yeah.
He's beautiful though.
He is beautiful. Like, I think I need to grow the beard back out, grow the flow out to that length.
Sean, when are we going to see you again?
And then be Sam Hartman.
I don't know. I mean, if you want to buy me a flight, I'll come out like now. Probably this summer at some point. I'll definitely be out there.
He's full of shit. If we bought him a flight, there's no shot that he would come.
I think he would.
If we bought you a flight this weekend, there's no shot he would come.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? No. If you bought me a flight and you told me I was leaving, we have a NHL trade deadline is Friday, so it would have to be like Friday night. But if you got me a flight for Friday night, I would 100% be there.
May 1st, Tim Robinson's performing here.
You got tickets, right?
Yep.
You don't have a +1, don't you? Do you?
Oh no, I do actually, but you
can be my +1.
Tickets are still available.
Okay. You can be my +1, Sean. We'll go.
John, do you have anything to plug for the What Chaos show?
I mean, if you're a hockey fan, this Friday is the NHL trade deadline. We're going to be doing a nice long live NHL trade deadline. Just subscribe to What Chaos on YouTube. If we get to
4K,
whatever the next, if we get to 4K, we're going to do a 24-hour stream, which is going to be. I mean, the stream's
your
already
life is
going to be
hell.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah. It is what it is, though, But yeah, just subscribe to What Chaos. If you are for some reason listening to this in Boston, Massachusetts, and you happen to be at the Bruins game tonight, come up to me, tell me you're subscribed to What Chaos. You'll get a cold, hard, $1 bill because we're buying subscribers now. But yeah, no, just follow us on Twitter. We're always doing fun stuff.
Oh my gosh, incredible!
To pause, what is this?
That is a picture of me with Alex Nylander from the year he was drafted. Last night he had his first career hat trick with the Columbus Blue Jackets. And the Columbus Blue Jackets have tweeted at me like one time saying I'm the best producer in the world, which I appreciate. So now I'm forever linked with Alex Nylander and the Columbus Blue Jackets.
That's huge. That's huge.
Like those glasses.
DePaz, keep warm over there, okay? I know you got like some foggy weather today.
It is. I mean, it's 43 degrees. It's not bad. But
I don't want to get too off topic, but he tweeted earlier fog is like elite, or fog is
pretty cool.
Fog
it's
is elite.
So fucking cool. It's the coolest shit ever.
Yeah,
like,
you look out and you're like, I can't see that. I can't see that.
Especially here because like I live right near the city and there's like the very iconic bridge and all of this. It's just all disappearing into the fog and it's the coolest shit ever.
Throw up Bo's tweet real fast. Sean, what do you think about this?
Bo's a hater, man. Bo's a hater.
Totri thinks he can run a sub 5.2.
I could run a 5 sub 2 or a sub 5.2. Well,
no,
5.2 sub. Yes, I can. Did it in high school.
Like,
man.
what are like offensive linemen running at the?
A fast offensive lineman runs a 5.1.
I mean, it was Jordan Morgan ran a 5.05.
Yeah.
I think he would get close. I think he would get close at least. Like I
no shot. He's running a 5.5 or more.
5.5 or more.
Yeah.
I don't have much of like a concept of the speed difference, I guess, or how like the time. I don't know. I feel like
Dre
Totri
Jamison
might have a
ran a
little speed to him.
4.4.
Yeah, I'm not running 4.4.
Dre Jamison ran a 4.4.
I think Totri might have a little more speed in him than you're giving him credit for.
I don't think he does.
These guys don't think I got anything, man.
I think
you got heart.
I think he would be. I think if he missed the 5.2, he would not be over 5.5. It would be like a 5.4 ish.
We'll see.
Yeah, we will.
See.
We're gonna make it happen. We're gonna make it happen. We're gonna get you on a plane. We're gonna turn Bo's comment ability off.
If you want to buy me a flight for next weekend.
Next weekend I'm gone, buddy. You want to meet me? Oh no, wait. Next weekend is everything we got going on. Yeah. Let me see. Let me see what I could do. Let me
just saying.
Let me talk to Saul Bookman. See what we can see what we could do here. But Sean,
I'm sure that's in the budget for me to
John,
fly.
where can peeps follow you, man?
At Sean_DePaz.
Sean, if we got you a one-way, would you be able to find your way back?
No.
Okay.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. Talk off air. There's details, so we don't need to talk.
We'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can do. All right, Sean. We'll see you later, man.
Later to pause.
All right, guys. Look, if you're looking to get tickets to any event, maybe my 40-yard dash, maybe we'll start selling tickets. You know, the best place to get your tickets is Game Time. Snag the tickets without the stress of Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code PHNX for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code PHNX for $20 off. I've already used Game Time 3 separate times this year, and we're already in March. Got tickets to an event next week. I'm super, super excited to go to. They really do make ticketing super, super easy. The best interface of any of those apps as well. So go check it out. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed.
Yeah, that's rookie numbers using an app 3 times in 1 month. How about using it 5 times in the span of
a day?
5 hours since I've been awake, and that's what I've been doing with BetMGM. Guys, it's the best sportsbook app you can get right now. Download the BetMGM Sportsbook app on iOS or Android, or visit BetMGM.com. Sign up and deposit at least $5 into your newly created account. Place a wager in the amount of at least $5 buckaroos at standard odds price. Once you have placed your bet, you'll receive $150 in bonus bets regardless of the outcome of your wager. Got a lot of games to bet on tonight in the NBA and the NHL and college basketball. The one thing that has really sucked about being gone and being so occupied is I haven't had enough time to be a sicko. So like when it comes to NCAA tournament, I'm not going to know like the ins and outs of Richmond or other. Well, FAU was just kind of a wagon. If you weren't watching FAU, you were a total casual last year before the tournament. I mean, come on. They're okay this year. They're okay. Guys, BetMGM, best place to do it. Sign up for BetMGM. Use that bonus code PHNX. Place your first BetMGM Sportsbook wager through the BetMGM Sportsbook mobile application for at least $5. You'll receive $150 instantly in additional winnings, regardless of your wager's outcome. Check out the show notes for full details. And now listen to Damon talk about the disclaimer worse than I ever did.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369 New York. Call 1-800-327-5050 Massachusetts. 21 plus to wager. Please gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP Arizona. 1-800-BETS-OFF Iowa. 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help Michigan. 1-800-981-0023 Puerto Rico in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. Visit BetMGM.com for terms. This promotional offer is not available in New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico.
Bo asking if I had ever been timed while running. Yes, the answer to that question is yes. When I was in high school, we had like a combine for the Brophy football team, and it was actually the same day that there were several players working out. Lane Johnson actually did some combine prep at Brophy, so they had everything timed officially. So kiss my ass, Bo Brock. In the meantime, though, guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. That is going to do it for the PHNX Sun Devils show. Give us a follow at PHNX Sun Devils. You can follow me at Anthony_Totri. You can follow Shane at Shane Deef.
Going to record a better disclaimer than Damon, as always.
And you can follow DJ Jacob Franklin at Jacob_Franklin. In the meantime,
DJ Jacob
guys,
Franklin, he has a kid.
Go Devils, and peace.
We all silly like the mayor.